Okay, tonight I'm going to introduce to you the reason why we're all gathered here this evening. The person who's coming before us this evening, he's the former MP for Mount Moriah constituency. He's also served as the former vice chairman of the PLP. He was the former ambassador under the PLP government for the environment. He's also the former chairman of the BEST Commission, which is an environmental group. He's been an attorney since 1997. He led the team of attorneys all the way to the Privy Council that saved the seat of Holy Cross when Sidney Stubbs was named a bankrupt. He's an avid debater. He's also known to be the champion against Hubert Ingram during the 2002-2007. He's happily married to Miss Monique Roker. They have 4 children together, and most of all, he's a man of God. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to stand with me as we welcome Mr. Keod Smith as he presents his presentation to us on reboosting the economy of Grand Bahama.
Thank you. Please take a seat. First of all, let me just say that I am very delighted to be here today. Now, I might turn this microphone off. That's all right. My voice is kind of loud. I don't want to have that distraction. But I'll turn it down low so that it can carry as best as we can. Now, just before I really get into the meat of what I want to talk about, just let me say that on Wednesday of this week, I did make my announcement nationally about my intention to allow my name to be placed in nomination. I didn't come here today to launch a campaign. I came here today to effectively try to show you what I'm about. Now, what I'm about is about making hard decisions and about making sure that strategically we have what we need in order to achieve what we want. And hopefully, by the end of the day, to give you an idea of perhaps what you can do going into convention. Obviously, I'm running for chairman, and I would want to get your support, without question. But I think sometimes we get caught up in just personalities as opposed to trying to assess who we have before us. And what I'm trying to give to you is an idea, if you would, of what it is that I might be able to offer you as your national chairman. Let me make it clear, as Greg has already indicated, that if God were to grant me the opportunity to come out of convention as the national chairman, I will put aside one personal desire that I have. And that personal desire that I have is I'd like to be able to defeat Tommy Turnquist again. But I believe that my task this time around is to put that personal desire aside, because our party, I think, needs the kind of leadership in the chairman's chair that I believe I have to offer. And so if I am the chairman, I will be the chairman that has a constituency from the Salt Flats in Inagua to the beaches of Grand Key in the north. And so that I can focus on what our party needs so that we can win. I want to win. I don't know about y'all. I don't mind being an MP, but what's the sense of being an MP if we ain't in government? And so so now let's get into it. That's as much as you will hear me talk about the convention and the normal kind of thing that people would come to you and talk about in terms of they want to have an official position in the party. That's as much as I will say. By the end of tonight, it is my hope that you will conclude that I am your man for chairman and that you will give me your vote when you go to the convention. Now, in opposition, when a party is in opposition, The PLP must determine that it is the government in waiting, rather than simply waiting to become the government. Let me repeat that. In opposition, you have to behave like you are the party in waiting, as opposed to simply waiting to become the government. And I'm not entirely certain that we were behaving like a party in waiting. And that task and that job is the job of the chairman. The leader has the vision, the chairman implements it. Being a government in waiting means that you must be prepared to lead from day one. We must have ideas, we must have attitudes, we must have the solutions to some of the problems that we know in advance, and then get going with it. In the context of Grand Bahama, the PLP must have a sound plan to break up this 50-year-old dollhouse called the Grand Bahama Port Authority. I ain't come here to be friends, I come here to be chairman. And I'm going to show you one or two things. Now, more than 55 years ago, our founding forefathers formulated the PLP in an effort to systematically and methodically develop and maintain ourselves as institutional activists of social, economic, and political issues. They learned that this could only be achieved if we had our finger on the pulse of the nation and our ears to the ground. It is now a matter of history, and those of you who have gone before me, those of Stalwart councillors know better than me. It is now a matter of history that that basic strategy, which started in 1953, was most effective and successful over these years. Now, what is fundamental to this objective is the party chairman devising effective strategies for the implementation of the party's vision as it is articulated by the leader. It is my hope that with what I have to say here tonight, you will see that moving forward, the PLP already has the formulation for the answer, or to be able to devise the answers to the woes that you have in Grand Bahama that I've heard and I've seen over the last many months. Institutionally, the PLP must be bold enough to articulate and resilient enough to give life to these things, these ideas. It is against this backdrop that I think that you should go to convention this month, seeking concurrence and a settled action plan of the party coming out of convention with respect to Freeport and Grand Bahama as a whole. Do not go to convention for the party, just the party. Do not go to convention because you want to see old friends who you saw. Go to convention to use the highest form of our party in the manner in which it should be used. Cause our party to pass resolutions with regards to Grand Bahama, to direct our parliamentary team what to do to fix your problems. Otherwise, don't waste your money, stay here, let other people do the foolishness that they would want to do at the convention. Now, in order to show you that as a party we have the basic policy to rejuvenate Freeport, and therefore the wider community of Grand Bahama, I want to borrow, and I will be borrowing from a presentation that I have made here in Freeport on 2 occasions. One, in this very room, to the Rotary Club, and another to the Chamber of Commerce, both in 2005. And I have also made this presentation during the budget debate in 2005 in Parliament. So I'm not new to what I'm about to say. You may not have heard me say it before, but you'll hear me say it again tonight, and in a slightly different context, because the situations are slightly changed. Now, I feel that this approach is not only relevant today, but it is embedded in it is the answers that we're looking for Grand Bahama. Now, doing this, I am hopeful that you will formulate yourselves, as I've indicated, into a delegation that cannot be broken. You come as one team to do what you have to do. One singular purpose, and for you to lobby bringing economic life to Grand Bahama. Not only you will be able to show that these things come out of a 41-year-old policy of the PLP, that is still the position of the PLP today, but it is the most effective way. You will be able to show that this is the most effective way to bring help and resolving some of your ills here in Grand Bahama.